Continuing my video blog, we are talking about my research now of VSG. I am going to be 42 years old next month. Today is March 25th, 2014. I am 5'8", 213 pounds, which puts me at a BMI of 32.4. I'm going to be referring to some notes over here, so that's what I'm looking off to on the side here. I want to go over, if you haven't seen my previous video, please do, just because it gives you some of my opinions and my, just some comments. It's 22 minutes. I know it's long, but I think that you will appreciate some of the things that I would say in there. Maybe it'll help to establish where I'm coming from, so that when you watch these videos, you can maybe understand me a little better, because from this point forward, I may make some comments that you're like, whoa, what? And maybe if you kind of knew me from the beginning, you could understand those a little bit. I don't want to come off too strong to people. I don't want to come off judgmental. I'm not. I think people have to come to their own conclusions, and I've come to mine. So that's what these videos are for, is how did I come to these conclusions that I'm now going on a trip to VSG land. Low BMI is a dangerous BMI. I think that people that get opinionated about, well, you only have a low BMI. You're on the low end of the BMIs. Why would you want to go into a surgery? Okay, let's just have a different conversation about that. A low BMI is called obesity. It starts at a BMI of 30. If you are a BMI of 30 or more, you're dealing with obesity. That's what I've dealt with for the last 10 years. Just up and down. It's like the stock market. Only mine trending downwards, as in worse. Trending downwards is the success trend is going downward. When I say trending downward, I mean getting worse. When I say trending upward, I mean getting better. If you have a medium or moderate BMI, which would be somewhere 40s, then that's a very dangerous BMI. When we say low or moderate, it just softens it too much. Obesity kills people. Obesity causes things that can kill people. Diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol problems. For me, I have stress incontinence. I'm pre-diabetic. So I'm trying to stop the train from barreling down the tracks here. I have a stress incontinence issue. And I also forgot to mention this kind of in my intro video. I went over a few of these things, but I ended up with a severe vitamin D deficiency. I thought I had fibromyalgia. There was not a joint in my body that didn't hurt. There wasn't anything that I could do that didn't cause me pain. And it was like phantomish. It was like a phantom pain. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I had been to the doctor, just for checkups, and I'm like, man, I'm sorry, doc, I don't know how else to say it, but I feel like crap. I just feel like crap. And finally I went to see the family doctor, and the nurse practitioner there, she said, well, let's check your vitamins. Because she said, if you get diagnosed with fibro, you're going to have a hard time getting health insurance later. So that was, that was a couple of years ago that I had that issue. And since then, I've had to keep a daily regimen of supplements. I take a 5,000 IU vitamin D3 supplement, and that's a pretty high maintenance dose. I think most people are good with 1,000. And all of you need to get yourself checked for vitamin deficiency. Anyway, my vitamin D was so low that I had to have 50,000 IUs over a week's time period. So I had 10,000 IU for 5 days straight to try to get my vitamin D levels up. And that worked. But when you have a severe vitamin D deficiency like that, your joints hurt, you feel like crap, you may even think that you're going through depression, or it's just not, something's not right. And what I learned is that when we are chubby, like I am, the chub traps the vitamin D that your body is making, and it will not get into your blood where you need it. Now, how ridiculous is that? So, I had to take this high dose of vitamin D to get over it, and I finally did, but then I have to take this high dose. So getting this weight off will help eliminate that problem too from ever coming back. But I'm really glad to be aware of that, because if I ever start to feel achy or start to feel that again, I know what that feels like, and I'll be able to go into the doctor and say, hey, I think my vitamin D might be low again or something, or I can just supplement myself with it to try to get it up. But if it's very, very low, you need to get your doctor to tell you where your levels are. Because if you need to get a high dose, don't ever take a high dose of vitamin D like that on your own. If you do, it will be toxic to you. Very toxic. Do not do that on your own. You have to go through your doctor. So, low BMI, low BMI is a dangerous BMI. A medium BMI is a very dangerous BMI. A high BMI is a critical BMI. We all know what critical is. Some of us, I would say most of us watching these videos are probably in the very dangerous BMI, would be that moderate. And then we have the dangerous BMI, which is your beginnings of obesity with your comorbidities. So why surgery? I want to stop losing the battles. I want to win the war. Have to win the war. This is not oh, I hope so kind of a go in. No, you can't be weak with this stuff. You know what? It's and by the way, obese people are not weak people. There's some bad choices there, but there's some physiological deals that are going on. Everybody's got their own little recipe of why they are the way they are. But those who feel that people who are overweight in the obese category, any category, they are not weak people. There's things going on with these people. And the battles keep getting lost. And so those of us that we know are strong individuals, you have to make a decision that can come off really strong to other people, and that is weight loss surgery. Hello, it's where I'm going, VSG land. So yeah, it might come across pretty strong, but hey, it's time to have a plan for winning this battle. I have some genetic things that go on in the family. I've got some Amazon women in the family, and beautiful women. Wouldn't want to mess with any of them, I tell you. I've got women in my family that are over 6 feet tall. I've got women that are 6'2", 6'3". I've got men in my family that are Uncle Bobby, almost 7 feet tall. Isn't that right? 6'8", 6'9", ridiculously tall, big women and men in my family. So there's probably some factors that have just caught up with me. I had very high blood pressure with both of my pregnancies, so I've got some of that stuff that took place. I've got just, abdominal muscles that are probably split, that just never came back together. Those types of issues. I've got here's another good one. You're going to love this. I could not believe it. I went into the doctor, and I knew that my vitamin D was fine because I had been taking my 5,000 IUs and everything was, being maintained. And this was about 5 months ago. I went into the doctor and I said, I'm 41 years old and I think I'm going through menopause, because I am, when it comes time for my period to start, about 2 or 3 days before, I have night sweats. I can't sleep well. And I mean, we're talking miserable night sweats. Embarrassing. Terrible. Gosh. So I went into the doctor and I said, just tell me that I have menopause so that I'll know what I'm dealing with. And she said, let's just check your hormone panel. She said, you're nowhere near menopause. I said, well, then what in the world is going on? Because I'm having these night sweats and I'm miserable. She said, you have almost no testosterone. And I'm like, what? No testosterone? And she said, your levels, I can't explain to you the blood level of the lab readouts and why they are what they are, but I can tell you that she wanted me at 150 That's where she wanted me. And I said, okay, where am I? She said, you're at 10. So, I mean, I just had to laugh. I'm like, I'm running on fumes. What's up? She said, well, that's why you feel so run down. She said, she goes, my guess is you're having a hard time focusing on stuff, like mentally. You have maybe some libido issues, and you're not getting anywhere probably with your weight. And there was a couple other things. Oh, and the night sweats and all that, of course. And I said, yes, 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 and yes, all those. So she said, this really will explain a lot. So I looked into the BioT testosterone pellet. And I got the pellet. I got one about 4 months ago, and it really, oh my goodness. I didn't realize that my vision was going bad because of the low testosterone. I had no idea that was even a symptom to complain about. I had actually gone to the eye doctor about 6 weeks prior to going to my doctor, to my medical doctor, and I said, I just can't see my computer. I mean, I guess it's eye strain or something, and I got some computer glasses. I am not kidding you. 24 hours, 48 hours after I got my testosterone pellet put in, I did not need my glasses to see my computer and my papers. I put them in the case and put them up. So I know that was a symptom of low testosterone. So women, please consider that. If you're kind of having it all of a sudden, like, what's the deal with my vision? On a super personal note, I cannot remember exactly the name of the cyst, but it's like a Bartholomean or some sort of, it starts with a B. It's a cyst that can happen near the girl parts, and it can scare you because you're thinking, whoa, wait a minute. They hurt for one. They're very painful. And it's usually one, you might get two in the area, but they're extremely, extremely painful. And if one of them happens to rupture, it's really scary because, it produces a lot of blood. There's some pain involved with that. I learned that comes from a low hormone scenario going on in your body. So don't freak out over it. It's a symptom of it. When I had the testosterone pellet put in, that just did not happen anymore. Thank goodness. That was really not fun at all. Keep that in mind, ladies. Go get checked out. Get ready for your libido to go up. Hey, Mom. It was almost, wasn't really a problem, but it was almost like, I don't think I need quite that much. I mean, I'm going to tell my doctor when I go in for the next one that, let me bring it down just a notch. And you'll know that. And typically when they give you the pellet, your hormone level will go a little above where they want you, and then it will settle down and come down. So that's where I'm at. Women who tend to be somewhat sedentary because they either just don't like to work out, don't want to work out, get sick of working out because it's so painful, things like that. When you're a little more sedentary, your testosterone pellet will last a little bit longer. If you're an exerciser, it's going to burn up a lot faster. If you're really training hard, then it's going to burn up in like 3 months. Mine's lasted about 5. And the first symptom that I had that I knew that my pellet was probably getting worn down, and it's a melter. It's like a tiny little, it's like a piece of rice size that goes right under your skin on your hip. And it just melts. It just disintegrates and melts, and your body's like a time release thing. Anyway, my vision started getting bad, and I started needing my glasses to look at my computer. So I knew at that point that my testosterone was getting low. So this is one of the questions I have with VSG that I found some research online about testosterone and whether or not it would improve if I lost the weight. I don't know. My guess is probably not, just because my age is my age. Can't have surgery to stop your age and the natural progresses of getting older. So, I don't have a unrealistic expectation for that. I just kind of wondered. I thought, wow, I wonder if it'll help. So I don't know. We'll see. But here's a huge problem that I've always had, and I think a lot of you will probably identify with this. You just flat have a linebacker appetite. I always have. I've always had a huge appetite. I was a basketball player in high school, college years. I didn't compete in any sports or anything like that, but I would do my running. I would do my weightlifting. Always been a weightlifter. I'm not tooting my horn here or anything, but I'm pretty strong for a woman. Always have been. I enjoy lifting weights. I can't do a lot with the legs just because of the knees, but when I do lift, I can lift a lot of weight. And so every kind of exercise that I do, whether it's weightlifting, walking, riding the bike, I even got a tread climber. I have a very nice brand new tread climber in my bedroom, and the desire is there to use it. It's just that sometimes the physical consequences of using it make me not use it again. So I'm looking forward to getting some of the weight off of the knees and joints so that I can feel good about using those again. But anyway, the problem is that when I exercise, my appetite goes from linebacker appetite to ridiculous, two linebackers appetite. And it's just that perpetual problem. So VSG was a huge, it had a lot of appeal for me, because to get rid of that part of the stomach that produces the hunger hormone, perfect. That's exactly what I need. I need something that's going to turn that off. Maybe one of these days, the smart scientists of the world will come up with something that just cuts that hormone off. That way people don't have to get the capacity of their stomach cut down. But right now, that's where we are in our advances in medicine. So it's fine. People can live with a smaller stomach. People live without using their stomach at all when they have bypass. So they're having bypass. Little piece of the stomach at the top gets attached to a lower portion down on the intestine, and their stomach just sits there. It can be reignited. I guess if they wanted to have it reattached, they can do that, and that thing will come alive and do what it's supposed to do. And it is alive in there. It's got all the blood supply and all that. But they don't need it, and it can sit there. Personally, I have a problem with capacity. I can eat a lot of food, and I'm super hungry all the time. And so VSG made my heart feel good. I thought, okay, there is a tool that I know I could really maximize that tool, because I know it's not going to fix it. I could drink ice cream. I could eat a bunch of pudding. I could probably go and eat, I don't know about, like soft things like bean burritos, and gosh, I can just think of all kinds of things that could sabotage the VSG, even, with just it, and still be fat. Okay, that's where there's some mentality that has to change. Those of you that are listening to this, you know who you are. There's some of you that have abuse from your childhood. You have abuse from a spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend or a parent or someone. I'm speaking to men and women here. I know there's things that fracture many, many people from years ago. And they turn to food for comfort. They turn to food to increase that serotonin, that feel-good chemical in your brain. Oh, yes, I know. I know those take place. So there's people of us that are in buckets where we have food problems because we cope with food, and then there's those of us who are just plain hungry all the time. And maybe there's a bucket where we're kind of blended. There's some of that stuff in there, where you've got a couple of different factors going in there. My personal story is that I'm just hungry. I don't know why. I just am. So that's what I need to fix. And if I feel like for my particular scenario that one girl used this analogy, which I thought was great, is it's like a bowling alley where you put the bumper guards up. That's what VSG is for me. It's bumper guards. That way I'm not gutter balling all the time, to where I can sort of keep things, here, to where if I bump the side, I'm going to know it, but I'm not going to fail. But I can use the tool. But I have to use the tool for that. The tool isn't going to take care of me. I have to use the tool. It's like if this was this mouse, it's not going to move the cursor for me. I have to use it properly in order to get the cursor to move. And if I misuse it, I'm gonna be like, this tool doesn't work. I can get excuses and say this tool. No, it works. I just have to know how to use it. And so I'm not going into this without some, what I feel like is some education and some good, just awareness on what it is for me. If I can get the capacity of my stomach under control, get that hunger hormone taken care of, I know I can use that tool. And I'm very excited about it. I want something that's permanent. I think that yo-yo dieting is harder on our bodies than a VSG surgery by a long shot. I mean, just think about what that's doing to our metabolisms over the years of Atkins, and you lose 30 pounds in a couple of weeks, and then you gain it back, and you go on Jenny, and you're hungry all the time, and you're in constant deprivation. At least I was, because it wasn't enough food. It wasn't enough calories. I was getting headaches, just different stuff. And so you just have to know, that yo-yo, that up and down, that can't be good for us. There is no way that's good. I've read that it's not, so I believe that it's not. I'm not afraid of the permanency of losing part of the stomach, getting rid of, whatever. Bye-bye hunger, bye-bye stomach, see you later. Ta-ta. See you later. See you later, alligator, because that's what it is. It's like a hungry alligator all the time. So I'm not going to miss it. I'm not going to mourn the loss of my stomach. I'm not going to mourn the loss of that feeling of hunger. I know that with VSG, there will be some level of hunger that will come back. So I'm not afraid of not ever feel hungry again. I'm not afraid of that, but I know it will come back some, which gives me that feeling of, okay, well, it will come back some, so it's not like it's going to be gone forever. But if it is gone forever, oh well, it's fine with me, because I have a good basis of knowledge for nutrition, and so I know what nutrition I need. I know what's good for me. I know what exercise means. I know that exercise is critical for this success of this, is what I mean by that. So, and there's also just, this what if thing that I want to talk about right quick, and then I'm going to cut this video off and go to the next one. What ifs are like paralysis. I what ifed for years. What if I just, go on this diet and just decide to exercise? And then it was like, well, what if I fail again? It's just stupid. It is insane how we do that to ourselves, how I do that to myself. I'm so sick of that behavior, when it comes to my health and in my body. I mean, we what if stuff all the time, those of us that tend to kind of do that. I have generalized anxiety disorder that might relate to some of you people out there. So I know what ifing to death means. It's very paralyzing. What if I die during this surgery? Well, okay, what if I do? I cannot live in fear of dying. If God sees my surgery as an opportunity to take me, then so be it. He's the one in control. I know. He knows my heart. He knows that I'm going into this for the right reasons, or for reasons that I feel are right. I mean, he knows my heart is genuine in that I'm not doing this because I feel like I need to go be, because I want to buy cuter clothes. I mean, I can buy really cute size 18 clothes. There's tons of cute clothes out there size 18. So that is not what motivates me. He knows what motivates me. He knows that I'm trying to fix things that he and I talk about on a regular basis. He knows it. If he wants to take me, he'll take me. He knows I'm human too, though. So I'm not sitting here going, oh, I have all genuine, good reasons or whatever that's defined as. I mean, I'm human too. Yeah, wearing a smaller size is great. That appeals to my flesh. Absolutely. I think buying size 8, 10 cute clothes would be great. You know, that would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun. Gonna be a lot of fun for people to notice, hey, you lost weight. I know people are going to notice. I know they're going to say, hey, you look great. I know that those things are coming. That appeals to my flesh. Absolutely. Those are not the reasons I'm doing it, though. But, so going into this with vanity is not my motivation. That's what I'm trying to say. But I have vanity factors. That's just not my motivation. He knows I have out of control. God. He knows I have out of control hunger. He knows I overeat. He knows that I'm trying to instill some rules on myself. I'm trying to get a grip on this flesh that's affecting my life in a very negative way, and that I feel is going to continue to negatively affect me worse as the years go by. He knows that that's what I deal with. So I feel good about that. And when I say my prayers before I go in to surgery, I'm just simply going to say, Lord, thank you for bringing this knowledge about this to me. Thank you for medicine. Thank you for the doctors and for the procedures that we can do to help ourselves out of these deals that we get ourselves into. Thank you for providing us tools that we can use to improve our lives so that we can be better stewards for you and better examples for our children and have better outlooks on life and, you know, live life in a positive way. And I'm going to say, if you want to take me, I understand, but I hope you don't right now, because I want to live. I want to come out here and live a positive, healthy life for myself, for him, for my husband, and for my children. So that is genuinely what I will be praying for before I go in. And I'm hopeful. I'm very positive. I know that the Lord will bless this whole VSG trip. So I'm at 27 minutes. I'm going to cut this off and go to the next video. And I'm going to tell you some more about my research of what I found out on surgeons and some of the pricing that I got and things like that. So we'll go to the next one for that.